Hello, good evening, and thank you for joining us for our Western Care Virtual Ball live stream. We'll be going live at 8 o'clock, less than 10 minutes from now. But this will give you an opportunity, if you're tuned in now, to get in early for the fantastic raffle prizes that are going to be on offer tonight. And I have a list of them here. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, there are telephone numbers there. You can dial any one of them between now and 10 o'clock this evening and get your ticket for these great prizes, because I know some people don't like the computer, they don't know, and they don't like using the I donate button and that. But for people that just have a mobile phone, they want to ring somebody and say, look, I want to buy a ticket. So you can see the numbers, you can start ringing them now. We have a great team here of volunteers from the Western Care Valentine Ball Committee. We're standing by with their phones. We've Siobhan and Caroline, Etna and Lorraine, Brenda and Sue, and Pauline and Una. And we'll be only too delighted to take your calls. Now let me tell you what the fabulous prizes are. The first prize is €1,000 cash, one night accommodation, bed and breakfast and dinner in the George's restaurant in beautiful world-class Ashford Castle Hotels. The second prize. Our third prize is a fantastic one as well. Never Maguire's award-winning restaurant, McNair's House and Restaurant in County Cavan. There you have an overnight stay plus an 8-course tasting dinner. So a fabulous prize indeed. Also another prize, 2 nights B&B and 1 evening for meal for 2 in Knockgranny House Hotel in Westport. And I know we have people that will be tuning in from all over the world, so when they're coming here, a nice night out in Westport will be just lovely. We have 2 nights bed and breakfast, 1 evening meal for 2 in the Carlton House in Blanchardstown in Dublin. An Apple Watch with a set of Apple AirPods. Also B&B Deluxe Room in the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin. That's for a Sunday night, but it's a Sunday night of your choice, so that's important. A 1-night subscription to Ballymaloo Cookery School online. And then we have another prize of 1 night bed and breakfast for 2 people in Brafey House Resort in Castlebar. And then we have a Maura Mackay interior design 2-hour consultation valued at €450. There's 13 prizes in total. Our next prize is Reimagine Art Studio painting by Anne-Marie Clark. And then we have a €100 voucher for the Castle Court Hotel Westport. And our final prize tonight in the raffle is €100 voucher for the El Volcano Italian restaurant, also in Westport. Now we have a great show lined up for you tonight. It's going to be tremendous entertainment. We have international singing star Tony Christie, we have RT's Mary Kennedy, we have comic Pat Short, we have some of the Cahill Gavin is with us here from Swinford. We've Pamela Gilmartin, country singer from Ballina with us. We've Stuart Moyles. We have, Neville Maguire is going to be with us as well. So we have a host there. You're going to love the show. So all we want you to do now is hit that button and check the numbers on the bottom of your screen there. They're running along there. Any of those phone numbers you can ring between now and around 10 o'clock there before the cut-off point for a chance to get in for those wonderful prizes to be won tonight. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Walter Overcausey, welcome indeed to our second annual Western Care Valentine Virtual Ball. We're coming to you live once again from Garbo's in Castlebar. And before we go any further, I'd just like to say a very, very big thank you to Micheál and Dara Healy from Boxing Banjo. And they've just come direct from the Late Late Show and the Trad Fest in Dublin. Superb. We're going to have another tune from them later on. But I'm delighted to be joined by my co-host here, once again, Tony Burke. Very welcome indeed, Tony.
Thanks, Henry. It's great to be back again this year.
Yeah, and we have a tremendous lineup of artists for you over the next hour or two, including Pat Short. We have international singing star Tony Christie, Ortiz, Mary Kennedy. We have Jimmy Buckley, Robin Mazzell, and of course celebrity chef Nevin Maguire, and much, much more. But I think the big thing on the night is, because we're all here to fundraise for Western Care, and there's some super prizes.
That's right, Henry. Obviously, we're here for a raffle tonight to raise funds for Western Care Association. We had such a successful year last year, and we'd love to top that this year. The prizes are phenomenal. They're out of this world. We have €1,000 cash prize. We have vouchers for the most beautiful hotels right across Ireland, including Ashford Castle here in Mayo. We've lovely vouchers for different companies and businesses, and all of this has been donated for free by businesses right across Mayo and Ireland, and we're so grateful for everybody's support again this year.
Yeah, and the sponsors have been fantastic, particularly in the difficult time they've been through in the last 2 years, but they've still come up trumps with some great prizes.
Absolutely.
And we'd like to pay tribute to them as well. Now, people, just how people now, I know they can use the I donate button, but we also have a team here in Garbo's that will take phone calls from people.
Yeah, we have a wonderful team working down the back. There's 4 different phone numbers that people can ring in. They'll process the payment for you. The numbers will be coming across the screen all night and during our outbreaks. So you have plenty of opportunity, but get in early just to make sure that you get into the draw and be in with a chance of winning one of those lovely prizes.
Yeah, because I know last year we got caught badly. There's so many people wanted to phone in their donation and that, and the phone lines were absolutely jammed. So if they get busy, don't worry. Just keep trying, and we'll get back to you if need be, and we will make sure that you're part of this fabulous draw, and all going to a very worthy cause indeed, Western Care Association. Okay, it's time for some entertainment, and if you don't mind the pun, we're going to kick off with one of the great Mayo footballers. Isn't that right?
That's right, Henry. We're so happy to be joined by Pádraig O'Hora, a worker with Western Care himself, so it's very, very apt that we'd open the show with Pádraig tonight.
I think it's absolutely ideal because, as you said, he works with Western Care, and what better way to open the show?
But Pádraig, we're absolutely thrilled to have you here with us this evening for the Valentine's Candlelight evening in aid of Western Care. And obviously you're a worker with Western Care yourself, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, you're right bang in the middle of action with Mayo and the league at the minute. How's it all going for you? How's the feeling in the camp?
Good, yeah. It's a great group to be involved with. There's good excitement around it. It's kind of great to be back playing football. It's actually great to have crowds back and have the atmosphere back, which we missed. So that was electric above in Sligo, and again the last day. So yeah, it's really, really enjoyable. It's a great camp to be involved with. We're all buzzing to kind of plough on through the league and get going into championship. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, Dublin game coming up now next weekend. That's a big one for you.
Yeah, it is. We're well comfortable up in Croke Park. It's as good as a home pitch now at this stage, I'd say. So, look, it's exciting. All the games in Division 1 are difficult. They're all strong teams, and that's what you kind of go out to play against. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, it's great as a supporter to be back on the road with you again, and we're really enjoying the journey so far and looking forward to the rest of the spring and the summer with you, and we wish you all the best with the Mayo team and James Horn and all the squad there. But Pádraig, just focusing a little bit on Western Care and the work that you do with Western Care. Throughout COVID, you were frontline workers, there's no doubt about that. Tell us a little bit about what had to go in just to get to work every day and make sure it was all done safely for the service users.
Yeah, it was... kind of push my memory back to, it's kind of a bit of a blur now, but like it was definitely a significant challenge. The fact that I suppose we had to go to work, you have to provide a service for people that they require, and there were a lot of challenges involved. I remember myself being very anxious actually a lot of the time at the start, not really knowing. I don't think anybody fully understood COVID. There was a lot of information out there, whether it was true or false. We didn't know, where they were coming or going, but I suppose the objective was to just keep everybody safe. And I think we've done a really good job in that from top to bottom. So, look, we came through it unscathed. We've done our best for the people around us, and like that, we've got a really strong staff team down here. So, very fortunate in that sense that you always have people to kind of back you up.
Yeah, and I know, like, even personally you had to make certain sacrifices at home just to make sure that you weren't going to get infected yourself and you're protecting your family, but you also had to protect your work colleagues. And it was a different scenario for somebody who was just worrying about themselves at home. Like, you had a lot of considerations.
Yeah, you did, and I think that's probably where a lot of the anxiety came from, for me personally anyway, was that we had kids in the house. They obviously have a few contacts, my partner, then football, even though, again, Mayo were fantastic. In fairness, they were super, super set up in regards to player welfare and safety. But it was just more contacts. Again, we weren't fully sure how people contracted COVID, how likely you were to contract it. And I suppose the fear of a lot of our service users having underlying conditions. So it was overwhelming at times. There's no doubt about it. But look, we got through it. We're on the other side of it. And like I said, we all kind of came through unscathed. So I'm just kind of grateful for that, I suppose.
Yeah, no doubt the service users themselves and their families are so grateful to all of the workers in Western Care, but right across the front line for the efforts that they went to at that time. And as you say, it's nearly is a blur now, which is great because we're moving on with our lives, and that's the good news. Porrick, we're also very conscious, Western or HSE, excuse me, the HSE are obviously the primary funders of Western Care, but at the backbone of a lot of what happens is volunteerism and fundraising, events like tonight and other events that are run right across the country, and a lot of the money raised, it pays for these really essential services that enhance the quality of life of service users. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, like of course we are HSE funded, but in relation to a lot of the projects we want to run and the different things that I suppose the service users require at different times in the year, this along with many other fundraisers for Western Care, they're pivotal really, and without them I suppose we can't provide that quality of service that we'd like to. And I think we're fortunate in the sense that the people of Mayo are very giving and caring, and you see a lot of volunteer work and fundraising, but we heavily rely on it. And I suppose you see that in a number of different services over the years. The Candlelight funding is a huge one for us, especially when we're looking to kind of, as you said, enhance the kind of quality of life. So when we're trying to, get in specific kind of courses and projects that like a lot of our service users really, really enjoy. I suppose you could look at that across the board. I know even here in Ballina, there's been a number of different projects that the pictures are still on the wall, the memories are still there, and they're really, really important kind of moments and experiences for the service users that they still talk about and still go back to. So it's hugely important.
Yeah, and it's wonderful that even though, we still can't be in a room together and have our big ball, that we can do events like this. And we have mentioned our raffle, actually, that's happening tonight. We've fantastic prizes from cash giveaways, holidays, and vouchers, and they're just absolutely amazing. So people can still donate to our raffle tonight if they'd like to do so. So Porrick, I'd just like to say a massive thanks to you for being with us tonight. I'd like to wish you and your partner and your children all the very best, and of course best of luck with Mayo as well throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's enjoyable chatting to you. And like that, the raffle there is a great opportunity, I suppose, if people are wondering how they can donate in some way or support Western Care. It's a great way. So I'll be sure to kind of have links up myself too. So if anybody's looking for that information, just check us out on social media.
Lovely, Porrick. Thanks very much.
Oh, the great Porrick O'Hora, and of course we'll be all rooting for him and the Mayo team next weekend when they're playing the old rivals Dublin, which is taking place in Dublin as well. But I know Porrick will come through well. Now, people are ringing our phone lines here, but we have one little problem because everybody's ringing the one telephone line, which is Teresa's number, 087 246 7857. But we have three other mobile numbers here. Siobhan is on 087 322 7875. Lorraine is on 087 205 2928. And Brenda is on 086 023 7412. Now, them numbers should be coming up on your screen. And they're for the raffle prize if you want to enter, because I know Pauline's is managing one phone there, Teresa's phone, and every call, and people are missing because they can't get through, the numbers engaged. But try one of the other numbers there. I'll read them out to you once again. Siobhan on 087 322 7875. Lorraine is on 087 205 2928. And Brenda is on 286 023 7412. And to remind you once again of those fabulous prizes you have a chance of winning tonight, 13 prizes in all. The first prize is €1,000 cash. Second prize is one night accommodation, breakfast, dinner in the George V dining room in the world class Ashford Castle. Next prize, Nevin Maguire for Intercookin. Nevin, of course, is going to be on the show later on with his award-winning restaurant, McNain House and Restaurant. They have an overnight stay for two people, and including an 8-course tasting experience. That should be something. Next prize, 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for two people in Knockgranny House Hotel in Westport. And then that's followed by 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for two in the Carlton Hotel, Blanchardstown. An Apple Watch with a set of Apple AirPods, and then we have a B&B deluxe room in the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin. It's a nice prize there if you're going to the city for a bit of shopping down Grafton Street. Then we have a 1 month subscription to Ballymaloe Cookery School online, And then a one-night bed and breakfast for 2 people in Brayfie House Resort, Castle Bar. And then Murray McKay Interior Design will give you a 2-hour consultation valued at €450. That's followed by Reimagine Art Studio painted by Anne-Marie Clark. Our second last prize, a €100 voucher for the Cascade Hotel Westport. And our final prize is a €100 voucher for Il Volcano Italian restaurant in Westport. So as I said, those numbers now are active. The girls are only dying to hear from you. So our committee, they've come in specially to take your number and to take your donation and to take part in the raffle. So the numbers are, Teresa's number is 087 246 7857. Siobhan, if you want to ring Siobhan, she's on 087 322 7875. Lorraine is on 087 205 2928. And Brenda is on 086 023 7412. So start ringing now and get it in with a chance to win one of those fabulous prizes. They're great value. I think we're going to have a couple of lucky winners tonight, I can tell you. Now, my next guest also comes from around the same part as Pádraig O'Hora, and indeed knows him well. She's an up-and-coming star on the Irish country music scene over the last number of years, and we're delighted she's dropped into the studios here this evening to be part of the Western Care Valentine Virtual Ball. Pamela Gilmartin, you're very welcome indeed.
Thanks very much for having me. Delighted to be taking part.
Yes, and of course we were just watching Pádraig O'Hora there.
We were indeed, yeah.
Yeah, you know Pádraig.
I know Pádraig. I sold Pádraig to her. She's in Jimmy Rafferty. She's.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Did you tell you what the special occasion was?
I'm not too sure. I think it was for after one of the games, anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, easy customer.
Yeah, you're one of the few people that the frontline workers. You were one of the frontline workers during the pandemic as well, weren't
right,
you?
yeah, I was. Yeah, up until for so long, and then we were kind of considered non-essential for a while. But I was lucky to have the full-time job to fall back on, that I wasn't just solely relying on the music and the gigging. A lot of people kind of got caught up, that were just musicians and didn't have anything to fall back on. So I was lucky in that sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so do you think it affected you as much as other people then, the lockdown?
It did.
Probably from a social aspect.
It did, but yeah. I was just after releasing my album, Truck and Country Queen.
That's right, yes.
And I had a massive, a great
launch line for, yes,
great
I remember
success.
that.
Oh
yes.
my goodness, a massive night.
Yeah.
And next thing, bang, just as I was getting going, pandemic, COVID came, and things just went right down. So that's where it really affected me. Yeah. Not in the aspect of like the gigging, because I had the job to fall back on, but definitely from when I was getting going, know, and then it was just like bang, stop.
So did you have to hold off then with the album?
No, so I had just launched it, but in the sense of like getting it out there and the publicity of it, and people are still, not everyone knows that I have an album out there. That's the thing. So, it's still available on my website. You can still pull songs from it, release videos, kind of, but I'm releasing singles that
from
are
it.
Not known. I've kind of gone. I still have that album there, but I've started releasing singles and a duet there at Christmas time with Mick Flavin. Right, yeah. So they're not on the album, but we'll be working towards another album. So there's no loss there.
Yeah, and of course, as you talk about the duet you brought out with Mick Flavin, how did that come about?
I was threatening to do a duet for the longest time, even a Christmas song. I'd be in the studio with Brian Kerrigan in Harmony Recording Studios in Letterkenny, and he'd always say to me, "Oh, you do a Christmas song?" And I'd say, "Oh no," because Christmas songs, they only come around once a year.
Short period of time. Yeah.
Where everything else, it'll always come up no matter the time of year, and I'd always put it on the back burner and say, "Oh no." And my Uncle Pádraig Gilmartin in Tuam came on this lovely song, "How Do I Wrap My Heart Up for Christmas." It was a big favourite of his. And he said, "You know what, I think that'd really suit you." So I'm a massive fan of Mick Flavin singing as it is. So who better to ask? And sure, Mick was only delighted.
Yeah, and it went very well. You got a great earplay and everything. Yeah.
And great, we went viral on Facebook as well, so that was brilliant. Yeah.
And you're going to do another duet now as well, aren't you?
There's another singer now. I can't mention names yet.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
But there is another duet in the line and a single then of my own. And as I said, we will be working towards another album. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And speaking of singers, you also brought out a single a couple of years ago for charity. As you know, this is a charity event. And you do your own fair bit of charity work as well, Pamela.
I do indeed.
And you recorded as well for a charity.
It's the only song I've ever wrote, because, I'm not the quickest to put my hand to paper. I could do it. I suppose it's just time consuming. So I released a song, Brandon's Yellow Tractor, for a young lad, Brandon Bulger. He was sick with cancer. So that raised funds and awareness, for them. And that was that was a lovely thing to do, you know. So yeah.
So when you're looking forward to getting out gigging again now?
Oh, as soon as they'll have me.
Yeah.
You know, I was slow to get back into it, but I've a one-man band there for doing the social dancing and guest spots as well. So really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. And do you think the social dancing will come back in a big way?
Oh, definitely, massively. I can see it. You know, when you'll see it there on Facebook when you're watching the nights out and stuff like that, and the crowds, even the young people. That's what you're really relying on. Like, it's huge. It's really kicked off again. Like, I thought it'd go a bit slow, but it's really kicked off.
And Pamela, do you ever think you'd give up the day job to go full time?
I like my day job too much. You know, I have a great boss. Honestly, very accommodating. They're really, really good to me. And any time that I need, you know, to accommodate my music, they've always done that for me. So it's always nice to have something to fall back on as well. So, and I love meeting the public and, you know, selling shoes and just a bit of retail. So.
Well, continued success, and we look forward to the new album and songs coming out into 2022.
Yeah.
And we'll be keeping an eye on your progress.
Thank you.
So here we're going to go out with one of your videos, and this particular one, I love it. There's a lovely local element to it as well. Old Time Fiddle.
Old Time Fiddle, and I got, you know, the local people from Bunnyconnon and Ellamore and Attymass and family and friends, and everyone loves it. And Steve and Dan Bloor shot that just not too far from Bunnyconnon, and
yes, it's a great video.
Yeah, it's really lively and it really feel good.
Yeah, there's a great feel for factor. And certainly be up dancing around the kitchen now with this one.
Yeah.
So once again, Pamela Gilmartin, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Lovely Pamela Gilmartin, we wish you well there in our country music career. And I know all the family and friends back home in Balnara are tuned in tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing Pamela on the show this evening, and so as we were too, and you, the audience. So here there's a great video called Old Time Fiddle from Pamela Gilmartin.
I want to hear that old time fiddle play an old time fiddle song. I might even drink just a little if you play a little Jody Blanc. If you're looking for me, well, I'm liable to be in the middle of the old dance floor. I want to hear that old time fiddle like I never get to hear anymore. I want to throw 'em down on the hold down, hanging with the people I know. Hear the sweet sound of a breakdown when you put a little rosin on the bowl. You'll come on over when the sun goes down, bang on the old screen door. I want to hear that old time fiddle like I never get to hear anymore. Well, I miss old Herman Stover, lay and listen to the mockingbird. It was Piedmont, Oklahoma. It was the sweetest sound I ever heard. The skinny old man in the cowboy hat, and you could barely get the people in the door. I want to hear that old time fiddle like you never get to hear anymore. I want to throw 'em down on the hold down, hanging with the people I know. Hear the sweet sound of the breakdown when you put a little rosin on the bowl. Play diggy diggy light, diggy diggy low, then a little Cotton Eye Joe. I want to hear that old time fiddle like I never get to hear anymore. I wanna throw 'em down on the hold down, hanging with the people I know. Hear the sweet sound of the breakdown when you put a little rosin on the bowl. You'll come on over when the sun goes down, bang on the old screen door. I wanna hear that old time fiddle like I never get to hear anymore. You'll come on over when the sun goes down, bang on the old screen door. I wanna hear that old time fiddle like you never get to hear anymore.
Well, we're delighted now to be joined by undoubtedly Ireland's much-loved broadcaster. I know a career spanning 40 years and, of course, recently retired from RT. But you know, Mary, I think you're busier now than you ever were. First of all, Fáilte, you're very welcome indeed to our show here.
Andas of a Portuck, and happy Valentine's weekend and happy Valentine's Day. Yes, I'm working, but what's very nice is that at this stage in life, because every stage in life has its priorities, and at this stage in life, it's nice not to be, herring around the country every single day, but to be able to have periods of rest, periods of interacting with friends and family, and periods of work. So it's a nice combination. I'm not knocking it. I'm very happy to feel that at this stage people still want me to do things, and I love doing the programs for TG Cahir and also for RTE, and also then having time to be free, free in inverted commas, because I'm actually, as we speak, in Limerick. My daughter and her husband have gone to a wedding, and myself and my other daughter Lucy are minding their 3-year-old and their 1-year-old. So if everything goes up in smoke and the door opens and there's kids coming in, you
know the story, yeah. You're like every parent or grandparent. I suppose it'll surprise a lot of people. Valentine's weekend is the least thing they expected to hear from Mary Kennedy, that she's babysitting this weekend.
I know. We did make little Valentine flowers out of pipe cleaners and things like that. And we went to the playground, and not long now till they have to go to bed. So I'll be glad of that.
And you'll be able to relax then. Are you following Dancing with the Stars, Mary?
Oh my goodness, avidly, absolutely loving it. I feel the standard is incredibly high this year. I do feel for them, because my partner and I, we take dancing lessons with John Nolan, who was my pro partner. So, I get a little bit of information from behind the scenes, and it's quite restrictive, because, have to be so careful with regard to, interacting and COVID and stuff like that. But I can tell from every single one of the people that are taking part that they are finding it so enjoyable, hard, but invigorating and just life-affirming. And that is exactly what I found of it as well. It's the most, it's so nice to be celebrating your physicality and your body, and, learning a new skill, because my goodness, it is unbelievably technical and intricate what those professionals, the knowledge bank they have, the creativity, the class they have is just amazing.
You're not shy in taking to the dance floor anymore.
Well, after our period of lessons, we go once a week with John, because my son, my third of my children to get married, is getting married in May, and the idea is that I don't make a show of myself, as has been the wont before Dancing with the Stars. So yeah, we're just going to learn how to do a nice waltz and a jive, so that we can be up on the dance floor.
Lovely. Mary, I know you're a writer as well, apart from all the other talents you have, and you've had a couple of very successful books out. The latest one, of course, is Journey to the Well. Very much back to your childhood, collaboration with your sister Deirdre, and it did very well. It came out there before Christmas, and it's doing extremely well. And it takes you back to your young days in Clondalkin and in Dublin growing up. It's nice to reminisce, is it, those days and that?
Yeah, well, it was suggested to us at this time last year, and we were in the depths of the third lockdown in this country, and it was a nice project. It was very difficult. I found it hard for two reasons. One, I found the third lockdown very hard, and it was hard to motivate myself. And I couldn't understand why there were some days where I would jump out of bed and some days where I just did not want to move. I couldn't tell what the difference was in the day. But certainly this was a focus. It was also, I suppose, difficult for the other reason, in that it was a collaboration. And Deirdre, my sister, lives on the Aran Islands, so it was all via Zoom. And it's probably easier to do something on your own, but it was so worth it. And it was, as you say, an opportunity to revisit our roots. And to go back to Clondalkin, we grew up on St. Bridget's Road, and we went to St. Bridget's School. At the end of our road, there was St. Bridget's Well. And, you know, it's in quite recent times that people have, I suppose, begun to realise the significance and the iconic status of Bridget as a woman. And she kind of transcends the pagan and the Christian traditions as a goddess and as a saint. But we grew up to that. It was very much, you know, part of our knowledge bank growing up. And the nuns, in fairness to them, the Presentation Sisters who taught us, they never missed an opportunity to. Now, obviously, they spoke about the Saint Bridget, but what a strong woman she was! What a role model she would be for all women. And this was like in the 60s, but she certainly is. And I'm just so pleased that she is at last getting the recognition.
Yes, and a national holiday. Yes, next year. Yeah,
and it's an opportunity for people to realise and to kind of to reach out to her as a role model, as a patroness, a matroness, and a protector. You know, because we do have that kind of feeling for St. Patrick, and I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be the same for Bridget. A woman to be extremely proud of. You know, she's just a very strong woman, a can-do kind of a woman. You know, and she's patroness of beekeepers, of monks and beer making, and lots of other things as well. So she was a woman of many talents, and you know, very proud. And then to be able to do this book, Journey to the Well, which really was using this Celtic tradition. It's figured around the Celtic year of Samhain, Imbolc, Bealtaine, Lunasa, and to look at to use the Bridget's Well as a facilitator of a journey to find our strengths within ourselves and within our Celtic DNA, which I do feel we all have, but we don't recognise. We don't give ourselves enough credit for our resilience, our compassion, our sense of belonging, our sense of community. You know, I think those are qualities that are very, very strong in Irish people, and of which we should be very proud.
Well, you may not know, but we have Nevin Maguire on the show this evening as well. But he was telling me earlier on that you're actually a very good cook. Do you ever consider bringing out a cookery book?
Oh my goodness, gosh! I'll tell you now, Nevin. No, I had in the second last book. I did 5 other books before I did this book with Deirdre. In the second last book, I did a chapter on my favourite recipes, and it was the reason I did it was because people just kept asking me about that. Nevin and I are good friends, and everything I know about cookery I learned from Nevin, because he was the resident chef on the open
afternoon
house
show
program that myself and Marty Whelan presented, and he was so kind, so kind. Marty and I were guests at his wedding and have always remained friends with Nevin since. I can remember he used to come down on a Tuesday, and he would bring down whatever he was cooking. But my kids would always ask me on Tuesday morning before they went to school, what's Nevin cooking today? And I'd tell them, because we'd know from the day before. And they would look forward to it, because Nevin always brought down an extra cooked version of what he was doing on the show for me, because I was separated at the time, and he'd give it to me to bring home for the kids for dinner that night. It was just, you know, they loved it. He's just such a kind and
he is a lovely man.
And talented man.
Mary, you're a friend of the Western Care Association. You were a guest speaker a couple of years back at the Valentine Ball, and great memories of that, and people really enjoyed your inspirational chat on the night. This is, of course, we had to go virtual, like as you mentioned, lockdown, and it was too late to organise an actual ball this year because it just happened so soon. So we've been lucky enough that we were able to do this again this year, and hopefully it'll be as successful as last year. We raised a lot of money for it, but I'm delighted that you're part of it as well, Mary, once again.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Delighted. I mean, I love, well, first of all, I love the west of Ireland. I love Mayo. We went on holidays as young children to Gisala. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful place. And my partner that I mentioned there with the dancing lessons, he's actually a Mayo man as well. He's from Swinford, but living in Dublin. But what I like about Western Care and other charities also is, but this is a particular trait, I suppose, and a characteristic of Western Care, is that, it's very focused on the needs of the people, the service users. So you are the service providers, and that you focus on, well, what do these people need? And I mean, to raise so much money, it was something like 36,000 last year.
Yes.
In very difficult circumstances, was just absolutely wonderful. And to know that all that money is earmarked for just to go to the people and say, okay, so what do you need? And and when you think about it, that's the correct thing to do. But when you think about it from the service user's point of view, isn't it lovely to feel that that there's somebody there who, I suppose you could say, has your back and is there to look out for you and to see what you need, and then to go away and to make sure that it happens.
Wonderful. Mary, finally, can I just ask you, I know you're babysitting Ted this evening, but for Valentine's weekend, anything special planned with your Mayo man over the weekend to celebrate Valentine's
because,
Day?
As you say, I'm here down in Limerick, but yeah, we will go out to dinner. He has booked dinner for Monday evening, which is so out of the ordinary because it's a Monday night. But it is Valentine's night, and because we can't see him at the weekend, yeah, we will do that.
Well, listen, thanks very much for joining us, Mary. And as always, and I hope it won't be too long till we meet up again. And of course, you're a frequent visitor to Mayo, which we love. And the more we see of you down here, the better. So, Garmila Mahagad, and enjoy Valentine's weekend.
Yes, agus buinigi agus na haine tá géisteach leis agus beanteach. Happy Valentine's Day. Lots of love, lots of romance, lots of red hearts, red roses.
Yeah, and we have them all here. Slán go fóill.
Bye-bye.
The wonderful Mary Kennedy, always a great favourite, not just in me, but of course fans all over the country. Tony, you have another great guest lined up for us, I believe, right now.
Well, Stuart, delighted to have you with us this evening for the Valentine's virtual evening this year. We're still going virtual ourselves. It's been a very strange couple of years. Tell us, how has it been for you, all the acts cut and off the road and all the rest of it? I know it can't have been easy.
Hi Tony, how are you? It's great to be part of the show tonight. Thanks for having me. It certainly has been a strange couple of years, but of recent days and weeks, it's been getting busier. Things are opening up again, so it gives us a bit of hope for the future. So looking forward to getting back out and doing gigs and meeting the people again.
And come here, have you been on the road so far, like any social dancing? What's the vibe like out there?
Yeah, so far so good. I've been busy the last couple of weeks. There's been things happening. I've been in a couple of the regular venues like the MacWilliam in Mayo. This weekend I'm in Cavan, I'm in Westport, and I'm in Galway. So it's encouraging, there's lots of dances happening and people seem like it's safe enough, they're happy enough to go back out dancing, because after the 2 years it was very unknown waters there for a while, but people are getting more confident and crowds are coming back and dances are happening again.
And tell us, what did you get up to over the 2 years?
Well, I had plenty of time on my hands, so I had bought a new house, so it needed some work done on it. So I had lots of time. Myself and my brother, we ended up tiling it and putting down wooden floors and doing bits and pieces. So I was lucky to have him because he done most of the work and I just helped him out. But apart from that, just got back into training and had plenty of time for AstroTurf soccer and running 5Ks and all the rest. So while I missed out on the road, I benefited health-wise. I got back doing a bit of fitness and I was enjoying that. So that was mainly it, because as you know, we didn't have an awful lot of options to go out or anything. So that was the height of it.
And come here, did you consider setting up your own home improvement business or anything?
I wouldn't go that far now. I think I mentioned it to my brother, but I couldn't twist his arm. We like it too much.
Oh, listen, you'd be missed on the road, that's for sure. Stuart, have you anything exciting coming up where we can see you sometime around Mayo soon?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, as I said, the MacWilliam would be a regular venue of mine, and I'll be there throughout the year. And as well as that, I have my second music weekend coming up. It's happening the 16th, 17th and 18th of September. There's a great lineup. There's Jerry Guthrie and the band, Kieran Rosney and the band. I have Mick Flavin as well. And I have Olivia Douglas and my brother Trevor Moyles. And of course myself, I'll be there each day and night. And that's the 16th, 17th and 18th of September this year.
Wow, that's an amazing lineup. And if people want tickets, where will they get them?
They can book direct from the back, William. And it's almost sold out at this stage. So if anyone that would like to go, I'd advise them grab a room as quick as they can, because the last time it was a complete sellout as well. And as well as that, we'll allow a certain amount of walk-ups on the night when the weekend comes around.
So a lot to look forward to.
Yes, certainly looking forward to that one, yeah. And there'll be lots of others. Anyone can check out my dates on Facebook to follow me on Stuart Moyles Music, or on Instagram, or my website, stuartmoylesmusic.com as well.
Well, we're absolutely thrilled that you joined us here tonight. It's just fantastic to have you. And to whet the appetite ahead of your big show, we're going to play one of your songs, Westport Town.
Thanks so much, Tony. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I see the light across the bay. I see the light not far away. And I hear music all around. I'm getting close to Westport Town. Some mother, won't you make my bed? I see the light not far ahead. I see the light, I'm coming round. I'm coming home to Westport Town. Some years ago, out on my own, I set a course for parts unknown, leaving behind both friend and foe, needing to find what I've come to know. As I watch the islands fade away and bid farewell to old Clew Bay, though it's been years and years since then, my heart has brought me home again. And I see the light across the bay. I see the light not far away. And I hear music all around. I'm getting close to Westport Town. Some mother, won't you make my bed? I see the light not far ahead. I see the light, I'm coming round. I'm coming home to Westport Town. Of all the places I did go, she's still the fairest port I know. She works the sea and tills the farms and holds her children in her arms. No place could know a prouder past. Here comes the future full at last. Here comes that beacon across the sky. Now I hold my head up high. I see the light across the bay. I see the light not far away. And I hear music all around. I'm getting close to Westport Town. Some mother, won't you make my bed? I see the light not far ahead. I see the light, I'm coming round. I'm coming home to Westport Town. I see the light across the bay. I see the light not far away. And I hear music all around. I'm getting close to Westport Town. Some mother, won't you make my bed? I see the light not far ahead. I see the light, Westport town.
Oh, what a great music video there from Stuart Miles. And nice to see him back on the scene again. We wish him well, all the best for and plenty of gigs for the rest of 2022. Okay, just before we go into the commercial break, and just to remind you, we have a lot more artists to come. We have Nevin Maguire, we have Pat Short, we have Tony Christie, we have Cathal Gavin, a whole lot more entertainment for you between now and we finish up this evening at our live virtual Candlelight Ball in Native Western Care. Now, to remind you once again of the prizes that you can enter in the raffle, and I'll give you the phone numbers in a minute, but the prizes are as follows: €1,000 cash prize, one night accommodation, breakfast and dinner in George Restaurant for 2 people in Ashford Castle. The third prize is Nevin Maguire's award-winning McNain House and Restaurant overnight for 2 people, including an 8-course food tasting experience. Then we have 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for 2 people in Knockranny House Hotel in Westport. 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for 2 in the Carlton Hotel in Blanchardstown. We have an Apple Watch and a set of Apple AirPods. We B&B Deluxe Room in the Shelbourne Hotel Dublin for a Sunday night. And then we have a 1-month subscription for Ballymaloe Cookery School online, 1 night bed and breakfast for 2 people in Brafey House Resort Castlebar. We have a Maura Mackay interior design 2-hour consultation valued at £450, or euros I should say. Then we have Reimagine Our Studio painted by Anne-Marie Clark. We have a €100 voucher for the Cascourt Hotel in Westport, and our final prize is €100 vouchers for the El Volcano Italian restaurant also in Westport. There are your prizes. Now, if you want to enter, we have a couple of phone lines. I know people like to use the computer and go to the I Donate button which comes up on your screen. There's also phone numbers coming up on your screen as well. But if you've difficulty to get through to 1 or 2 of the numbers, I'm going to give you 4 special numbers that are being manned here in the studio here by members of the voluntary committee of Western Care Candlelight Ball. So Teresa's number is 087 246 7857. We have Siobhan's number, who is 087 322 7875. Lorraine's number is 087 205 2928. And then Brenda's number is 086 023 7412. So their numbers you can ring if you want to take part in that fantastic raffle. And we'll be announcing the winners at the end of the evening. We'll be closing the lines after a period of time. So it could be a good chance for you now to enter the competition, because we are going to take a short break and we'll see you in part 2. Welcome back to part two of our Western Care virtual candlelight ball. We're coming to you from Garbo's here in Castlebar, and thank you for joining us. You've been very gracious with your donations. Our phone lines are open all the time, and we'll be here for another while yet, so you still have a chance to take part in those wonderful prizes that could be won tonight. We want to see them all gone, and they're very valuable, and we know there's going to be some lucky winners there this evening, 13 in total, and we'll keep reminding you of that throughout the evening. Right now I'm joined by the chairperson of the voluntary branch, Castlebar voluntary branch of Western Care Valentine Ball Committee. Cora Mulroy, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you, Henry. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
it's
and
great
the
to be
place
here.
looks fantastic, doesn't it?
It's just
the
brilliant.
setting is fabulous,
Absolutely, yes.
and the Valentine feel is here and everything.
It is. And I suppose little did we think we'd be here again this year.
Well, that's it, because the idea came up last year about going virtual when there was nothing else to do, and it was very successful. And even though we came out of the pandemic, it was still too late to organise a ball as well.
Yes,
so
yes,
here we go again for the second year.
Absolutely, Henry.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as we said last year, we were faced with what do we do when you know we were in lockdown and COVID restrictions were there, and we still wanted to raise some much-needed funds for the projects and for the service users. So we came up with the virtual night last year. We had a fantastic night. We raised up on €30,000, and we funded 37 projects last year, and they were from all over Mayo, like you know. And I will show you shortly now some of the projects that we did fund last year, just a little flavour of some of them. But I suppose kind of October, November time when we were looking at reorganising our event for this year, the uncertainty was too much and we couldn't take a chance on it not being able to be a ball. So we went with the virtual event again, and so far it's been a fantastic night, and I really want to pay a special tribute to all of the artists and all of the acts that were here tonight. Every single one of them have come here for free of charge, absolutely so willing to help in any way they could, and it's just brilliant, and it's such a lovely thing to be part of, and it's great that they have come on board so willing to help us with it, But anyhow, as I said, 37 projects we funded last year, and they ranged from a lot of things. So just a few of them that would have been we would have funded would have been development of play therapy and social skills resources in children's autism services. A lot of garden furniture, I suppose outdoor was where we were last year. So a lot of garden furniture, sensory gardens, vegetable and garden beds. We had a chicken coop. We did tablets and iPads, sensory features, educational workbooks, art, printers, smart TVs, interactive whiteboards for classrooms, art projects, and personal safety alarms, and first aid training to service users. So there's such a variety.
And this is exactly what they wanted themselves.
This is what they want. And really, I suppose, what we do after tonight's show, when we get our final figure, we ask all the residential day services and the respite homes and all the just to basically say what areas that they need funding in, whether it's, for, as I said, a chicken coop, there's certain areas that they need funding in, they can't get that funding, and we then look at each one of those projects and we then try and give them money towards it. So as I said, we had some fantastic projects last year, so just let's look at some of them, and they've all been so nice to send us in some of the pictures. So the first one's up is Primrose Hill Day Centre in Claremorris, and they received funding to enhance their garden. So you can just see the beautiful garden that they have there. They have an extension to the patio to increase their outdoor seating space. And all the service users were able to spend so much time outdoors, which is just fantastic. We have you can see the beds, the garden planting and all that's there. And, sorry now, we'll just go back to some of Primrose Hill. So we go back here to the beginning where they're celebrating Michael's birthday under the gazebo, which was part of the funding that they would have received.
Lovely.
And we also gave the monies towards the swing. So you can see 3 of them can sit on the swing, and it looks brilliant. They're all out in the garden. They're having a great time. You've got Bridget and Michael, Eric, Paul and Val there, and Claire, Tia and Declan are making sure that everything is okay. They brought Teresa Ward, who's the fundraising manager for Western Care, to the actual opening of the gardens, because they were so excited to show where the monies went and what we had bought for them and helped them achieve. And you can see Eric there sowing some of the lettuce, and they grew lettuce and carrots all during the year as well. So they were so delighted with it. And here we have the maintenance guys working away, making a start on it, and that's some of the finished area. So that's just to somebody that's in a residential service, to enhance their garden is just massive. Yeah. They've had so much time out of that and so much use. It's just amazing. And then St. Anthony's Special School. So St. Anthony's
Which is
Special
in
School in
Castlebar,
Castlebar,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it would probably be the first school that would have opened under
That's
Western
right,
Care in
yeah,
1967. And
And Johnny Mee was very much involved in that.
very much involved in
Still
it.
around, we'd like to say hello to Johnny.
Absolutely, absolutely. So they still provide services to children with education, intellectual and physical disabilities all over Mayo. So you can see here some of them are on their treadmill, and it just gives them, the students, to learn how to maintain their health and fitness regardless of the weather conditions. They can be on the treadmill whether the weather is bad or not, and it's just they really enjoy that area, and it's very good for their mental and physical well-being as well. And here there's some other little projects that we have helped fund over the Candlelight events. So we organised a set of ukuleles for their class so they could all learn to play music. So they were all thrilled with that.
There's a great interest in the ukuleles again, isn't there?
Yeah, just brilliant. And then we also have the sensory cabin, which is very important. So basically the sensory cabin is an area that they can go into if they're feeling anxious or if they're not feeling that well. They can go into the sensory cabin. It helps to wind them down, helps to relax them, and they feel really comfortable in it. So that's fantastic in it as well. And then you can also see the garden at the school, and we helped fund some of their sensory garden as well. They have some lovely little area with their seating area. They can sit out and they can have picnics and all that outside. So it's fantastic. So that's St. Anthony's, one of the projects that was fundraised. Pinewoods in Westport then. This is, again, you can see them having great fun. They're here planting. You have Jerry taking a break. He's digging the soil there for Maria. She's going to plant a red Talela. They've had such great fun, and garden space and outdoor space became very important for service users during COVID, because if their family wanted to visit, they couldn't go inside. So they were able to entertain them outside, and it was very, very important for them. So you can see all the guys here in Pinewoods having a great time. That's Maria there planting her dahlia. Jerry is feeding the plants there, so he is. And Anne is getting ready for the Mayo match, and that's one of the swings that we also funded. So she's happy out having a swing, and she's all ready for the Mayo match as well.
Yeah, a great Mayo supporter.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then we move on to Carabeg Enterprises in Westport. And in Carabeg, they would use a lot of art. As you can see there, that they have a lot of art equipment. So they have Anna Rose, you have Trish, Una, and she's working with Caroline, who's an artist. So they would learn how to paint, how to draw. So we would fund all of their work and the resources they would have needed to be able to do their artwork. And they also had an exhibition. And you can see them enjoying their exhibition there in the Customs House. There was an exhibition as well at the end of it all. And I wanted to make a special mention in Carabeg to William. And you can see here William sitting in a very relaxed, comfortable chair. Not as comfortable as ours. I think a little bit more comfortable than ours tonight, Henry. But William would not be able to have gone back to the day services in Carabeg without the special chair that we funded for him. And it's so comfortable. He's able to go every day to Carabeg and enjoy his painting. You can see him there painting. And he wouldn't have been able to do that without that special chair for him.
And dare anybody touch it.
And dare anybody touch it. And that was funded by the Candlelight Ball as well, so it was.
Oh, great.
So now we move on to Davy and Aisling Gale, the Respite House in Ballinrobe. And I think anyone that's from Ballinrobe will know Davy. I think everyone knows Davy. So they got a chicken coop last year with the funding from the Candlelight Ball. And you can see Davy is there with some of the chickens. And we also have the chicken coop there, which is a fine setup, so it is. And it has been brought so much joy to them all. As you can see, Noel is here, and he's taking care of the hens, the chickens, and he's cleaning it out, and they're looking after it. So it gives them a huge responsibility also as well. And of course, they've got their fresh eggs then every day. And it's absolutely fantastic.
Range.
Free range. You couldn't get better, so you couldn't. And that's just been fantastic, enhancing their lives as well, so it has. And then you can see Dawn here supporting Owen on his iPad, which was purchased again for funding from the Candlelight Ball. Very important for Owen, who may be non-verbal, so he's able to communicate through the iPad. So, like small things like this, you think aren't, every single money that we raise tonight goes directly to the service users. So, as I said, there's so much that we can do with the monies. And we've Cluna here in Crossmolina, and we helped them and they're still in the process of their barbecue area, again, more outdoor, and they just a little bit behind because of COVID and trying to get staff, but they're working in progress there in their barbecue area, and this is part of their garden, and they will hopefully have it for the summer. So, Henry, that's just a feel to some of the projects that have been fundraised through all of the monies we have got in, and as I said, that money goes directly to service users. 37 projects were funded last year, and we hope we'll be able to 37 more this year.
Yeah, and people by taking part in the raffle are contributing towards those projects
Absolutely,
as
yes,
well,
yeah.
as well as winning prizes, of course.
As well as winning prizes, in fact, it's
So
a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without
All
a
right,
doubt,
okay,
you know,
okay.
definitely, so it is.
So next year it'll be back
Next
to
year,
the real ball.
Next year it'll be a ball. All going well, we'll be back in the ball. I think it's the 11th of February next year, 2023. And in Rafi House, we'll be there in our glamour, and we'll be all dressed up, ready to celebrate another year of the Candlelight Ball.
Lovely.
And 23 years, so it'll be on the
Believe,
23rd at 2023. And we'll be delighted that we can all be there again next year.
Yeah, meet friends and that. Okay, well done, Cora, and indeed all the committee as well, being involved in this great organisation, the Voluntary Committee in Castlebar here for the Valentine Ball for the last 23 years.
Yeah.
I know some of them are here, and there's others that can't be here and that, but they're a great committee and do a lot of work.
Absolutely,
They do a lot
huge,
of work.
huge amount of work goes behind
Okay,
it.
so you're going to enjoy our next guest, Cora.
I am, yes.
Yeah. He's one of Ireland's award-winning actors and a great comedian. And we caught up earlier with him this week with his daughter Faye as they hit the road with a new show called Well. Well, my next guest, I know our audience is going to be delighted with wherever you are across the world, because Pat Short is an award-winning actor and comic and a great favourite with Irish audiences in particular. And I'm delighted he's joined by his daughter here, Faye, which we'll come to in a minute. Tá fáilte wrote
the glamorous side, Henry.
The glamorous side of it, yeah. Always have to have a bit of glamour, yeah. Listen, this new show, it's about to take to the road well. And it's a story, actually, it's relevant to any town in Ireland, even today, because it's a father and daughter, a country and Irish musical duo who are trying to make the big time and have a gig coming up in the hotel in the town. And that's so relevant even for today. And I presume it's because of COVID that this show came about.
Oh my God, it is definitely. I didn't think I'd be working with my dad. Never in my entire life this closely, anyways. But
she's enjoying it.
Oh, I'm having a whale of a time. Big smile on my face.
Yeah.
No, I was supposed to move to London.
That's right. Yeah, you trained as an actor, Faye.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I went to the Gaiety School of Acting first, and then I went on to do screen acting in Bow Street. And I had big dreams of moving to London, and then COVID hit in February, and college went online, and I said, I'm not paying rent up in Dublin, I'm going to move back and save a bit of bob, and I moved in with my dad, my mum. Yes, haven't moved out since, won't be moving out either.
And Pat, is this come as a surprise to you, or do you encourage your daughter to get involved in the entertainment business, the showbiz?
Well, the funny thing with Faye was that she, I never thought she was a person that was going to go into the business. You know, I have another daughter, Lily, and she was probably someone I thought might have been more.
And what about your son? Was he
Louis,
shown any?
Yeah, he's a character as well.
Oh yes,
he's doing his leaving cert this year. But so when Faye kind of said she was going to go, I thought it was, I came out of the blue a bit. But then she was in drama school all the time. Through school, and she did a show in Limerick then did a final year.
Yeah.
And I thought she was amazing in that. And the minute I saw her on stage that night, I said, look, this girl won't have a problem at all. She's very talented and not a bother to her, you know. So I suppose the lockdown, the two of us were sitting out the back wondering what we're going to do with ourselves. And we did, like everyone, Henry, at the time, we didn't know how long it would last. We thought maybe a month.
I thought 2 weeks. I packed my bags from my apartment for 2 weeks.
2 years later, we still haven't gone back to work. So we started writing a few bits and pieces, and then Deirdre Kane was doing. It was
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief, wasn't it? Yeah.
So we did an online sketch for that, obviously, because it had to go online, and we got good feedback from it.
Yeah, got a huge reaction to it on the show, and then we got asked to do a New Year's Eve show at RTN. So we started getting more confident in what we're doing, having more fun with it, and doing sketches online. They started getting a big reaction, and then we just thought, look, this has to come to an end soon. We're still kind of like lockdown, so let's write a new live show, and I'll be going back on the road because that's what I do for a living. And that's what Faye now does for a living. So we might as well do it together and have a bit of crack with it, you know.
And what's it like, Faye, working with your dad all the time? Does it get...
Will I tell the truth or will I? Oh, no, we have a great time. No, we do. We have a great time. We have a great balance between working and then at home we leave each other alone, and we don't... sometimes it can be tough, obviously, to bring you can end up bringing work home with you, and you can end up chatting about it, and you're like, oh, probably should leave it, for the office. But we manage it well.
We do, yeah. I mean, and we've been away doing bits and pieces and TV shows and touring a bit, even though there's been a bit of a lockdown over the last. We're heading off again tonight to do another big radio show tomorrow up the country, so we'll be working with a big team there, and it's exciting and it's fun, and we're having a great time, and that's all that matters.
Now you've come up with a couple of new characters now for this new show as well. But if you look back, Killinscunny, some of the characters were fantastic in it, and great favourites. Everybody had their own favourites with it. So what can we look forward to in the new show? What kind of characters are going to be in it?
Well, you've never met the father and daughter duo.
No, you see, I suppose to make it clear, people watching, father and daughter duo is not us. It's two characters like us.
Yeah, it's not. So it's not actually us.
It allows us to be have more fun with them. And then we kind of set this show in this hotel that they're doing a gig in. So we meet some of the other people that work in the hotel. There's two beauticians there that we play that some poor misfortune in the audience wins a prize. Which allows the two ladies to work on it, and we'll say no more. And then there's a cleaner character, a guy, a barman who mingles through the crowd collecting glasses and having the crack. So we kind of bring, what we try to do with every show is bring the audience, make them part of the event. And in this case, they're the audience at the gig, they're visiting the hotel, so we go through it almost like a promenade type show and have fun with the audience. And we do, the relationship between the other two characters on stage are important as well,
So there's a lot more sketches in this particular show maybe than some of your previous shows. Would that be right?
Yeah, I think the nature of stand-up or solo man shows, it was always sketch related, because that's where I come from, starting out with The Unbelievables and moving on my own, and now back doing a double act with Faye. Mm-hmm. So it's I'm really enjoying it, because it's nearly 20 years since I worked with John, and since I worked as a double act. And there is something very nice about a comedy like that, because somebody else carries the weight of it at times as well. So it allows me to I suppose if you're on your own, you're talking to yourself.
More costume changes as well.
Do you know what I mean? So here we interact, and there's costume changes, and it allows to bring, I think, more characters to life, Henry, which is great.
And do you think, Faye, that you'll continue to work with your dad now for the foreseeable future, even after this series?
Well, I'd love to. I would definitely love to if you'll have me. But sure, I suppose we'll deal with this tour first, won't we?
I think look, we're looking forward to this. Faye also has a London agent and an Irish agent for films, so she's done a few bits and pieces already, and we're working on another short film coming up in a few weeks' time. So there's always, that's the one thing about us here. We're always inclined to do different things and not be afraid to take on a challenge of something different.
Yeah. And can we look forward to a new TV series in the foreseeable future, something like Killinscunny, do you think? Because they're very successful, even the repeats.
Yeah,
I believe a whole new generation of fans.
I know.
During lockdown.
Yeah, the figures were enormous. I think it was averaging between 250 and 300,000 a night just for a repeat show, which was phenomenal. We never expected that, and it was absolutely fantastic. I'm talking with RT about a project at the moment, but we've not really kind of planned. We're looking at this particular project, which could be more like Music from the Telly, which was a hugely successful series as well. This is something similar. I'd love to work on another Killinscunny style program, and we've written one or two projects.
We have. We've sent them in, and we'll
wait and see. They're in the boil.
Faye, can I ask you, is your dad's kind of type of comedy?
Yeah.
From a young person, why do you think it's so successful here in Ireland?
I think it's so successful because it's so relatable. I don't think there is one person from Ireland or who either lives in Ireland who can't relate to these characters, who have met them before on a night out or during the day or whatever. And I think no matter what age you are, you've seen them, you've met them,
Yeah.
And they're real.
I think that's what makes comedy work, is when you can identify.
Yeah, and you believe it as well.
And you believe the character. If it's there's different strands of comedy, of course, and you can get surreal and abstract. But I tried to, what Faye's doing with me as well, we try to make it as real as possible. And oftentimes it's just the audience identification with a walk, a turn of phrase that can be as funny as a gag.
Faye, this will be your first time performing in Castlebar in the Royal Theatre, won't it?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, it'll be my first time. I haven't been up to Castlebar in a long while, but I haven't been anywhere, I suppose, in a very long while. So I am buzzing to get up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the great theatres in the country, and certainly probably the west of Ireland. It's probably
the biggest.
It's the biggest.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Pat and Mary have done an amazing job there down through the years and modernising it, upgrading it, and bringing it up to a very, very high standard. So as artists travelling up there, it's great to have that facility and just to walk out on stage. And it's daunting. It's daunting. You
Don't say that.
You're making your daughter nervous there.
I let off.
Well, look, we're certainly looking forward to both of you coming to Castlebar. It's on the 8th of April, the Royal Theatre, Castlebar, and tickets are on sale now online. And I've no doubt it's going to be a night of hilarious fun. And as you said, so many people can relate to these characters across the country. And I think that we're noted for that in Ireland, to be able to laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
And I love the character in Killascully, the counsellor would have been one of my favourites, whereas, others would be Goretti now would be a great favourite. The counsellor, Willie was some character.
Willie Power, yeah.
Willie Power was some
done.
yeah. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Well, look, thanks very much for joining us. You've been very good to take time out from your busy schedule to join us for this very special virtual event for charity, and we much appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you in Castlebar on the 8th of April. I've no doubt you're going to have a full house for that.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to Pat Short and his daughter Faye's visit or concert in Castlebar on the 8th of April it is, and I know tickets are on sale now, so we wish them the very best of luck. They're already on tour around the country, and the early indications coming back from the concerts that they're absolutely tremendous, and people enjoying plenty of laughter in them, and that's what we want now that we're out of the pandemic. Now, I'm just going to mention the raffle once again, because our next guest actually has put up a fabulous prize, and he'll be talking about that prize as well during the interview. So if you want, just and to remind you that the lines will be closing at around 9:45. So remember that, around 9:45. So you still have a bit of time to phone in or use the I Donate button and take part in this fantastic raffle. And I'll just read out some of the prizes, because the show has to go on. €1,000 cash prize. First prize, we have one night accommodation, breakfast and dinner in George's Restaurant for 2 people in Ashford Castle there. We have, as I said, our next guest is the award-winning chef Nevin Maguire. He's put up a lovely prize of an overnight stay for 2 people, including an 8-course tasting experience, which is absolutely fantastic. And then we have 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal, 2 people in Knockranny House Hotel, and the list goes on now. I will be going through them all again in a couple of minutes. But just a reminder that the lines are open, but they will be closing shortly. So if you want to get get your ticket for this fabulous draw, well then the following numbers are available, and we have volunteers from the committee of the Valentine Ball on standby to take your calls. So Teresa's number is 087. I think Pauline's actually working this number, 087 246 9857. And Siobhan's number is 087 322 7875. Lorraine's number is 087 205 2928. And then finally, Brenda's number is 086 023 7412. So they're the numbers to ring if you want to take part in that raffle, because the lines will be closing very shortly indeed, around 9:45 or thereabouts. And can I also just, I'd like to thank Pat Jennings in the Royal Theatre Castlebar for organising Pat Short for us for the programme, the show tonight as well. Okay, so as we mentioned, if you like a bit of cooking, our next guest is the award-winning chef. You see him on our television screens every week, and we're delighted that he decided to take part in this virtual Candlelight Ball. Lovely guy, and I know you're going to enjoy him. So please welcome the one and only Nevin Maguire. First of all, can I congratulate you on your current series? I know it finished up this week, Seafood Trails, and delighted you got County Mayo in. You were in Paco hands there with Paul, isn't it? The chef there, and then Ashford Castle and that. It was a very successful series, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's actually, and Henry, thank you to you and your team for asking me to do this. The Serious Irish Seafood Trails, it's my third season doing it. And I go around the country, I meet the most amazing fishermen and chefs and producers. And Mayo is very close to my heart. The people there are just so welcoming, so talented. And I remember last year we were in Westport, we went to Clew Bay. We met a lovely gentleman, fisherman that was harvesting fresh scallops. And so you meet some amazing people, so you do. And to go to Ashford Castle, as you says, and Kong, and to enjoy what they have there and showcase the great produce. So I feel very lucky. I'm always learning as a chef, and you meet some great people who give you so much inspiration.
And is the seafood business, you reckon now, you've chefs in many places around the world. How are we doing with our seafood here in the west of Ireland, do you think?
Well, very good question. I think we're getting an awful lot better because, maybe 5-6 years ago, we weren't eating as much. Now we are eating. We also export an awful lot, which is fantastic. And for me, it's about showcasing how hard, first of all, fishermen work. We sometimes take that for granted. And for me as a chef, to be in a boat and seeing how hard they work in all different weather conditions, it's a very hard life. So to respect that and just to understand that, and them to maybe just show people the viewers, how simple it is to cook fish. It's so healthy, it cooks really quickly, and we have a great crew that do all the programs with me. So we're very well fed, and we get a nice wee drop of alcohol sometimes with it. And I always say I have an absolutely dream job, and you meet some brilliant people. So I think we're doing very well, Henry, to be honest with you, and I think it's getting better. Ireland's reputation as a very clean, pristine waters, that's a very, very nice recognition to have. And, it's been exported all over the world, to Dubai, to Australia, to America, to China. We're in a good time now in Irish food, to be honest with you. Yeah, we are.
Oh, that's good to know. You mentioned you have a dream job, and I presume that's all down to your mother, because your mother's influence from a young age that really got you involved in the chef business.
Yeah, like Mom and Dad started the business. We're open 33 years. So MacNean House is the name of the business. And it's named after the local lake. So we have Upper and Lower, one in Cavan, one in Fermanagh. So I've been cooking there since I was 12. And I suppose from the age of 12, Henry, I knew I wanted to be a chef. I knew cooking was my love. And then my mother encouraged me and taught me about supporting using good local produce, local staff. Like we have 60 staff employed in Black Lion in a small little rural village. It's an amazing achievement, and sometimes I pinch myself. I'm very, very proud of that. Myself and my wife Imelda, we treat our staff like family, and I think that's very, very important, that they are a huge part of the success. It's all about your team, and we feel very lucky to have such a good team, to be honest with you.
And you made your TV debut at a young age as well, 21 years of age.
21, I tell you, that's a few years ago. I remember I was doing a program with Marty Whelan and Mary Kennedy, and we were doing it up in Dublin, and it was called Open House. So I remember I was on it maybe 3 times a year, and then they had an interview for a resident chef. So I had to go up. I did a salad of spicy chicken. I was so nervous. I had to do it in 15 minutes. And then they rang me up the next week to say, listen, the gig is yours. You're going to be on every Tuesday. I was on that show every Tuesday for nearly 6 years. And Marty Whelan and Mary Kennedy are two of the most beautiful people. Mary Kennedy is a wonderful cook. Marty Whelan can't boil water, but don't tell him I said that. But he's the nicest man. He's the greatest bluffer, and he's such a good, decent man. And I'm on his show, obviously, in Lyric every Friday. So we have a great connection. We're great friends. And I suppose I feel very lucky, very privileged, Henry, to be on television, because it's you meet some amazing people. I know I'm repeating myself, and you're learning all the time about food, about producers. We do the Irish seafood trails, then we do the foreign trails in Spain, in Italy, and you never stop learning. That's what I love about my job.
Mm. How do you get time to do all these things? Because apart from television shows and running your own business in the restaurant, you've 12 cookery books at least out as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about having a good team. So I'll explain what I mean by that. So, like, I still am 90% in the kitchen in MacNean, but my head chef, Carmel, she's been with me 18 years. So she runs my kitchen. We have 14 chefs in the kitchen, and that includes your breakfast team. So then when it comes to the books, skill books, like I've wrote actually 16 books, to be honest with you, but who's counting? And I feel very, very lucky, and Gill Books have been very good to me. So I have another team that helps me with that, the photography, food styling, recipe development, it. Every recipe is tested. You'll probably do a cookbook in about maybe 3 to 4 months from start to finish, writing the recipes, testing it, shooting it. And then the television work is done in kind of two parts, usually in April. And that's maybe when I go maybe to Spain or Portugal this year, please God. And last year we went to Mallorca, which was fantastic. And then in September, then we do the Christmas special and we do the seafood trails, which is very good. And Orbia have been amazing. So the same crew that I do the TV work, we've done over 250 shows. The same crew, they're from the west of Ireland. They're from Tellegale in Spiddle, so they are. And the director is David Hare. He lives in Kerry, so he does. So they know my strengths, they know my weaknesses, but I feel very lucky. And that's done over 2 weeks. So maybe if you're away in Spain, that might be 3 weeks, but the Irish ones are done over 2 weeks, so they are. So it's not as bad as you think. And Henry, so many people say that to me in the restaurant. You know, we didn't think you'd be here. We thought you'd be away recording, but it's done in blocks. So, you know, when I'm away, like it might be Monday to Friday, or maybe for 2 weeks when I'm doing the foreign months, and then I'm usually back in the restaurant. So I am.
And just speaking about the restaurant, open of course after lockdown and back up and running again. I know you do 2 types of menu as well for your guests, don't you?
Yeah, we do a tasting menu, and then we also have a vegetarian option. And I mean, like, people seem to love that. You know, it's 8 courses. We want to give them a really good food experience, and you know, they've 3 choices in each course, if you know what I mean. So people like come for a celebration, anniversary, birthday, whatever. And you're right, like, we were closed for 8 months, so COVID has been very difficult and hard for everyone, for each and every one of us. And one thing that I've learned over the whole COVID situation is that more and more people have reconnected with food. They're cooking more at home. They're enjoying cooking for their family and friends. And that's a really good positive message that I want to carry on and recreate. And I was doing little videos online because for 8 months, like, I had no work. So myself and Imelda, my wife, on the phone, doing the wee videos out in the studio. And it was just great fun. And the engagement and seeing people just enjoying the whole celebration of food. So I was very, very proud of that, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And is there a special signature dish at the restaurant?
Oh, okay. So we're open 33 years, and just literally where I'm talking to you now today is in Black Lion, and it's in Buran, 5 minutes from here. Local duck producer Thornhill Duck. So they're a husband and wife team, and they're the loveliest people. And they process about 300 to 400 ducks a week. So we've been using their duck for over 33 years since the restaurant opened. Mum used to roast it whole in a Sunday lunch. Now what we do is we serve the breast, pink, or whatever way the customer wants it. We slowly cook the leg. We serve it 2 different ways. A little bit of lovely kale grown in our garden, and then some bulgur wheat and a nice berry sauce. So that's our main course. So that would be one of our signature dishes. And then all our fish would come from Killybegs. So at the minute, I'm making you hungry, haven't I, Henry?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a study of shellfish. So it's scallops from Castletown Bear. It's lovely Mulletmore lobster. There's a lovely Dublin Bay prawn, which is also known as a langoustine. We wrap that in a pastry called katafi, and we have that as one of our fish courses. So that would be one of our signature dishes too.
Is it true there's a waiting list, like 2 or 3 month waiting list to get into your restaurant?
There is. I mean, you see, so we had 20 rooms. So when Mum and Dad opened it, they had maybe 4 rooms, and then we went to 9 rooms. And then when me and my wife took over the business in 2001, we extended and we bought the building next door. And so we have 20 rooms. So they're always, thank God, touch wood, they're always booked out. And we do get cancellations. And that's one thing that I'm seeing an awful lot, Henry, to be honest with you, especially in the last maybe 6 months or whatever with COVID and everything. So the numbers kind of go up and down, but it's very consistent. We're as busy now at the moment as we will be during the summer, because we learned something from COVID. We learned, first of all, that we're not going to do 2 sittings. We're going to do 1 sitting with 60 people. It's going to be less stressful for the staff, and it's going to be a better experience for the guests. So we've changed our business model, and to be absolutely honest with you, hand on my heart, it's working so much better for everyone. It's a win-win situation for each and every one of us.
So what would you advise people who would want to get the experience of your restaurant and want to book it? What would you, should you say to them if they have an anniversary coming up in 3 months' time, or a wedding or whatever, what would you say to them?
Well, I get people from all over the country, and it's 99% Irish people. We don't get many Americans or anything like that, but they always book ahead. And if we are full, we always get cancellations. So we always have a kind of a waiting list, and we put our cancellations online. So like every weekend from with bed and breakfast and dinner would be gone for nearly 2 years. We've opened up the diary. But remember, we're small, 20 bedrooms, so we get cancellations every day. And I want to share with you this story. There was a lovely woman from Galway. She was in just before Christmas, and she was celebrating her 90th birthday. And I said to her, did you enjoy your meal? And this is a retired home economics teacher. She said, Nevin, it was the best meal of my life, she says. And for me, that's the nicest thing anyone could say. Now, she did have 3 bottles of wine in her, but I'm not telling any stories. I'm only joking you. But I thought that was a lovely thing for anyone to say. And we give her a book, and we looked after. She was there with her daughter-in-law and her son. And it was just, you meet wonderful people that travel a long way to come up to Black Lion, and we want to treat them like family. We want to make sure that they're relaxed and they enjoy the whole evening and the experience.
As we have viewers from all around the world tuned in this evening for this special event, would you have a Valentine little recipe that you could share with our viewers?
You're an old romantic. Good. Well, I'll tell you, one of the most asked questions is, how do you cook the perfect steak? So we're lucky in Ireland. Not only do we have great seafood, but we have some of the best beef in the world. And that's down to our great farmers. So one of my favorite cuts is ribeye. You could do the same with fillet or strip loin or sirloin. So I usually marinate it with some thyme and garlic, a little bit of rapeseed oil, which is a lovely Irish growing produced oil. And I usually bring it to room temperature, season it with salt and pepper, and then just literally grill your steak about 3 to 4 minutes either side, so it's nice and pink. If you like it well done, then you cook it a little bit more. And then a sauce that my mother used to make, because that's obviously, as you know, where I got my love of food. It's a sauce Diane. So you cook off a little bit of onion, or you can use a small little onion called a shallot with some mushrooms and a little bit of butter. Me and the butter, I love me butter, and a little bit of rapeseed oil, and then you flambe that. So you put in a couple of spoonfuls of whiskey, or you can use brandy, or sure, it's Valentine's, you can use both. So you let that flambe off, add in some white wine, a little bit of beef stock and cream, and Worcester sauce is the key ingredient. So this is a Worcester sauce. This is a steak Diane that will work really well with the steak. A lovely big bowl of buttery mash, some broccoli in that, and I think that's a delicious main course for Valentine's.
Will you get an opportunity to celebrate Valentine's this weekend yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, we're fully booked. There'll be lots of twos, and we're very grateful for that. And because it's on a Monday, normally we would be open, but we're actually closed on the Valentine's on a Monday and Tuesday, because they're the days that, all the staff are off, and we like to keep that. So, there'll be lots of twos over the weekend, and it's lovely to see them. But I found the last couple of years, obviously we've been closed, but before that, a lot of fours going out as friends and groups and that's lovely to see too.
Now, before I let you go, I know you have a big surprise for our viewers, and indeed your kind gesture as well, because of what is for the Western Care Association, which I mentioned is tremendous work here in the county with people with disabilities. And you've made a very generous offer as well, Nevin.
Well, Henry, first of all, before I tell you about the prize, I want to just thank all the volunteers and the great work you do in Mayo. And personally, for me personally, as owning a business, Mayo people are so supportive, genuinely, to me. So I want to just give a lovely little voucher for a dinner for 2 and an overnight stay. And we'll do a tasting menu with matching wines, and we'll carry whoever wins up to bed after it. And I want them to enjoy this. So this is going to go into your raffle, so you can organise that, Henry. But that's for myself, Imelda, and all the staff in Maclean House, because the great work that you do for so many people, it's a credit to you and your team and volunteers. So thank you. We'd be delighted. So that's dinner and bed and breakfast overnight, and then a tasting menu and some wines. You'll be wine dined and spoiled. And then what I'll do, whoever wins it, Henry, you can send me the details, and I'll put in a lovely signed cookbook too for them. Okay.
That's very generous. Thanks very much for an amazing offer indeed, Nevin. And thank you for taking time out from your schedule to join us. By the way, what will be the new series coming up then? Will you be working on?
Interesting you asked, because the TV producer who I mentioned, David here, he's actually talking to the Portuguese tourist board this week. So we're planning to go to Lisbon, to Porto, to Alentejo, and this will be kind of like Nevin's Portuguese trips. We've done the Spanish one, we've done the Italian one, and please God, next year we'll be back, or this year should I say, next season we'll be doing the Irish kind of trails. Maybe not the seafood, it might be included, but we might do the Greenway, all the cycles. So that's what we're thinking thinking of doing, please God, coming after the summer. So we'll do one foreign and then one home in Ireland. But I feel very lucky, as I say, you meet some amazing people who are passionate and who really care about what they do, just like yourself, you know, and enjoying what they do. I think that is the key to it, Henry. So it is.
Well, look, can I take this opportunity to wish you and your family a very, very happy Valentine's weekend and romantic weekend as well. And thanks once again taking time out to join us. We're thrilled with it, Nevin.
Henry, it's my pleasure. And listen, I know it's going to be a wonderful success. Before we were recording this, you were telling me about the success of last year. You know, people, Irish people and people all over the world, they're very generous. They're very caring. They're very kind. And really, thank you for asking me to do this. And it's an absolute privilege. And I hope everyone has a great night. And thank you, Henry.
Isn't that some prize now from Nevin Maguire? Imagine a fabulous overnight stay in McNain House and Restaurant for 2 people, including an 8-course food tasting experience. And as he said, if he's to carry up to bed later on night after you've been winding down, he won't mind at all, as long as you have a great time. So you still have a chance to win that and other prizes on tonight's show. And you've only about 15-20 minutes left because the lines will be closing. So just before the ad break, I'm going to give you those numbers again because that is a superb prize, as is the other ones in Ashford Castle, the €1,000 cash prize, all of them fantastic prizes. And you have a chance, because I know there's a waiting list for a couple of months to get into Nevin Maguire's restaurant in there, and you'll meet the man himself as well, and he'll look after you personally. So you're going to have a great time. So the numbers are, you can ring Pauline on 087 246 7857. You have Siobhan, who is on 087 322 7875. Lorraine's on 087 2052 928. And Brenda on 086 023 7412. So you've only about 50 minutes left if you want to get into the draw for those fabulous prizes. And we'll be having them, that raffle, very shortly indeed. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back then with international singing star Tony Christie and Amarillo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special treat for you now. We're joined live from his home in the UK, Tony Christie, the absolute superstar. Tony, we're so happy to have you with us here tonight. How are things?
Things are good at the moment. Yeah, it's been very, very quiet, of course, but it's getting better. We're getting gigs in now, and tours and things are beginning to happen again, which is, you know. And I'm a workaholic, so it drives me potty if I can't go out and work.
Yeah. Well, I think COVID must have suited you because you look amazing. I think it's younger looking you're getting.
Are you looking at the right person?
Oh, flattery will get me everywhere, Tony. Flattery will get me everywhere. Tony, I think a lot of our listeners here tonight who really have been looking forward to this interview with you for weeks and weeks since we launched our show, they might be surprised to know that you actually have connections with the west of Ireland, particularly Claremorris, I believe.
Yeah, my grandfather, he was Claremorris. Martin Fitzgerald was his name. And we've been trying to find out about him, but there's no record of a Martin Fitzgerald. They've got him down as something else, another name, Thomas Fitzgerald, and I think that's because his father was called Thomas. So I think there was a bit of a mix-up there.
Yeah.
So yes, my great grandfather was called Thomas. No. My great-grandfather was Patrick, sorry. Like my father, Paddy Fitzgerald. A lot of Fitzgeralds about, you know.
They're nice, good Irish names too, good strong Irish names. You'd never know though, somebody watching tonight might have some information that they'd pass on, and if they have that, you know, we could pass it on to you, so who knows?
Well, when Sean and I are out there, we're going to, we've been told that a lot of things were destroyed, paperwork, and maybe we can get it through the church, because they don't destroy, you know, things in churches. So we're gonna get an extra day there and try and find out.
Or the newspapers often have some good archives as well locally. You never know.
Yeah.
And how are you planning to come back to Ireland? Come back to Mayo anytime soon?
Well, yes, we're hoping to come over soon. May time, I think it is. Which I want to do. And also to see my niece, who's my dad's sister's girl, who lives in Tuam, which is not so far away. It's in Galway somewhere. I think it's Galway, isn't it?
It's practically Mayo, just over the border.
Very close to the border, yeah. Yeah, so she's out there. My auntie Molly's girl, who was my dad's sister, and she's my cousin Eileen. She's in Tuam.
Lovely.
So I'm looking forward to seeing her again.
Lovely. And I'm sure she's looking forward to seeing all you guys as well. Tony, you've had an absolutely incredible career in showbiz, which is obviously still ongoing as well. Is there any outstanding moments that you'd like to remember with us tonight?
Oh, God. Outstanding moments. Everything. Very well. I mean, everything seems to have happened to me. And this, getting some fantastic tours, fantastic presents, fantastic shows, seeing the world. So basically everything you could wish for. And really, I'm looking forward to another 10 years of it, at least, if the Lord keeps me here.
Please God, he will. Have you any shows coming up anytime soon?
All of May and June. There's a tour. We're doing a tour, so I'm looking forward to that. It's it's just amazing. From like 2 years of hardly anything, and then suddenly it's getting packed, and the phone's ringing all the time, and offering me things abroad, and offering. I mean, last week we did a show over in Austria for the owners of Porsche. You know, the cars.
Certainly do.
Oliver Porsche, yeah. And I said, just to sing, he only wanted me to sing one song, and that was to his wife, because it was her birthday. So I said, so he says, I'll tell you what, he says, I'll send you my private jet, which he did, over to Birmingham, And my son and my wife, we got in. We flew over to Salzburg and went to a restaurant which was his favourite Italian restaurant. And I just sang Happy Birthday Baby, which was one of my hit records from the 70s. It's just to my wife, she's not expecting it. I says, I feel a bit guilty about it. I says, can I sing? At least let me sing Amarillo as well, for because he got all his family there. And so I did. They sneaked me in at the very last minute. And I got upstairs and they and started singing Happy Birthday Baby. And everybody, there's about 35 people in there, all relatives of the family. And they all sang it with me because they all knew the song. And then, of course, I did Amarillo for her. And then everybody on their feet in the restaurant singing along with me. And then to top it all, he said, oh, would you like to join our family? You and your wife, Sue, and your son, Sean, would you like to join our family and have dinner with us? So I said, yes, it was absolutely brilliant. It was like a dream.
That's amazing.
It was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. You know you've made it when you're flying on private jets around the world to sing one song.
Yeah, just to sing one song.
Yeah, fantastic. And if your fans would like to see you in May and June, is there anywhere particular that they should look up to get information or to purchase tickets?
I can get Sean to send the information for you.
Perfect. And we can share it on our Facebook page.
On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got all the dates, yeah.
Absolutely. If he wants to do that, we'll certainly share it. We're so happy that you joined us tonight. It's been amazing.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Yeah. Well, Amarillo, an amazing song. You mentioned it there yourself. Could you ever have dreamed a song could be so big? No.
Still cannot. I mean, it was great when it was hit the first time round in 1971, and then when it all happened again in 2005. I mean, at the time, my wife and I had left the UK. We were living in Spain because most of my work was happening in Europe. I said to my wife, we had a little place there in Spain. I said, let's go and live there. At least I can play golf in shorts and we can, the sun's nice and warm. And then it happened again. It became a number one in the UK for 7 weeks, I think it was.
Incredible.
And it's not forced, but we came back to do a tour. And at the time, my kids they were having kids, so I was then having grandkids. And Sue said to me, you know what? She says, I'm missing seeing the grandkids and our kids more often. I mean, they were coming out to Spain, but like twice a year, that was it. So we decided to move back to the UK. That was 16 years ago.
And you haven't looked back?
No. I keep watching the telly, this show, they're showing a thing at the moment which is about buying properties in Spain. And today they were showing the place where we lived for 16 years, Mahaca. And it just brought back some great memories. And my son Sean, he's bought, and his wife, they bought a place in the same place, a summer home. So it's just one of those things.
That's lovely.
Second home.
Second home. Yeah, second shot at it. I think grandkids give you a renewed sense of life, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Well, Tony, we've been so honoured to have you with us tonight. I know you're an extremely busy man, and to have taken that time out to join all of your fans and our supporters across Mayo, and indeed all of Ireland and the UK who are watching us here tonight and supporting our raffle as well. We really want to say a massive thank you. And just to play out this interview, we're going to play that lovely song Amarillo, because the night wouldn't be complete if we didn't do that. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Everybody join in.
Absolutely. The toes will be tapping all over Mayo and Ireland tonight in their sitting rooms at home watching us. So thank you so much. We're honoured.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, such a great party song there, Tony Christie and his worldwide hit, of course, Amarillo. Don't forget, lines will be closing in a couple of minutes now, so your last chance to get in for the raffle there. You can see the numbers up on your screen there, or you can dial any of them to get a chance to get in for this fantastic raffle. So, my next guest is only 19 years of age, but already he's a veteran of the entertainment and showbiz scene because he started very young, at 13 years of age. Cathal Gavin from Spreader. You're very welcome indeed,
Thanks so much for having me, Henry.
Yeah, great
It's
to see
delighted
you
to be
again.
here.
Yeah. Now, 13 years of age you started with your debut record, of course, Voice of an
Voice of an
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah. Did very well for you, didn't it?
It did, and it all kind of happened by, you know, it wasn't really a planned thing. My granny came up with the idea that it'd be nice to record an album, and the whole purpose, or the reason why it came about, was at the time she had her brother who was living with her, and he suffered from Alzheimer's, and I'd just be down singing, you know, around her house as you would when you're younger, and she noticed that every time I'd sing, he'd kind of fall back into
Relate
like
to
a
it,
lapsed
yeah,
state.
yeah.
So she was like, it'd be lovely if we recorded an album. So we went to Tom Kelly in Ballina, who's absolutely amazing, and I'd auditioned for Tom a good few times because he wasn't going to go do it for any reason. He wanted it to be a good quality record. So to spend the summer when I was 13, just 12, 13, recording the album, and sent it to Tommy Marin in Midwest Radio, and really it's history from there.
Yeah,
from
it just
there,
took off.
just took off and
Yeah.
sold right across the world, and we dedicated the whole album to the proceeds of the album to Foxford District Alzheimer's. And
you raised something like 21,000,
yeah,
didn't you?
just over 21,000, and they secured their building deposit for their new daycare centre, which is absolutely fantastic. It was lovely to be part of something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And of course the convenient years later you went on to a lot of things, and then you got involved in we're coming up to we just had the National Song Contest, Song for Ireland, and you took part in the Junior Eurovision Song Contest.
That's right. Yeah, when I think I was just 16, I decided I'd do the Junior Eurovision, and it was a lovely experience, and to go to RT and get involved with like the production of a show was like, it was absolutely amazing. I didn't win it, but I got far into the show, which I mean, any experience is a good experience, and it's definitely been an experience that has brought me to where I am today, and give me confidence to perform in front of people, and you know, to sit here tonight in front of cameras, and you know, it was a lovely experience. Yeah.
And how would you describe yourself as a singer? Would you like a classical singer, an Irish folk singer, pop singer, or?
I'd probably be classically, you know, in that direction, but I don't know if I'd give myself any type of, you know, genre. My vocal coach Lavinia Gilmartin, she even finds it hard to put a tag on me, because I kind of go into a lot of different genres and, you know, experimental with a lot of things. My two recent singles have been more like pop country-esque, so it was lovely to like dip a toe into another genre, because pretty much the last couple of years it's all been kind of more concert music or more classical and stuff like that, which I love. But it's been lovely to try different things.
And speaking of classical and that, you performed, was 2019, full of an audience of 250,000. Now, there's not too many youngsters in Ireland can say that they've had that kind of a gig.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was the World Youth Day in Panama, and I was delighted to be chosen. I was picked out of 500 applicants worldwide, and headed over to Panama, and it's really just a surreal experience even talking about it now. Like, it was this massive stage, 3 stories high, and I remember just being connected all to wires, different sound. It was crazy, and then to see like 250,000 people,
plus the TV audience of
37 million, yeah, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, it was honestly the most wonderful experience of my life. Yeah.
And you had a chance to work alongside one of the great singer-songwriters in Ireland here, Phil Coulter.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be invited to sing at his concert in Swinford to open the show for him, and it was a really lovely experience. Yeah, to meet Phil and Geraldine. Yeah.
Yeah, and in December then, 2009, before the pandemic, of course, you had your own concert.
I did. I decided with the help of my mom and dad to put together a concert in memory of my auntie who passed away sadly while I was actually performing in Panama, so I didn't get to go to her funeral. So I decided I'd put on a concert in Swinford, my local church, and we sold 500 tickets, and we gave 10,000 to Mayo Roscommon Hospice, which was
lovely gesture,
lovely charity, and they're an amazing group of people. So
well, I think when one gets an award, I think coming from your own people is very special. And you received an award, Young Person of the Year award, Mayo Association in Dublin.
I was absolutely shocked. I remember getting a phone call. I was studying for my mocks, and I was just blown away to be, you know, honoured with such a fantastic award and to be up there with so many people, so many wonderful people who've been honoured in the past. So yeah, it was honestly the highlight of 2020. And then of course the pandemic came and everything slowed down, and I had loads of huge concerts booked right across Ireland and New York and LA and all. But hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh yeah.
In the future,
yes. Well,
very,
one
very
thing
soon.
Going for you have youth on your side, Carl.
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah, and then you had the lovely recording there, Christmas just gone by there. Look how Frankie was working with us here.
Yeah.
Produced it there for you down in the Scope. Beautiful setting in the Scope house.
Yeah, I was delighted to be asked, and it's so wonderful to work with Frankie. Yeah. I think we have a clip here tonight.
Yeah, we're going to watch. Yeah. I think it's a nice one to finish up with because you've a lot to be thankful for, and you're still young as someone. Anything else planned for this year? I know you have school is very important.
Yeah, I'm in college right now. I'm in Dublin City University studying aviation.
And your mum being a teacher, she's not going to let you
know
it.
Yeah, college first, and then see what happens afterwards. But I have a lot of stuff planned this year. Can't really say much, but I have a lot of stuff in LA coming up soon, and in California, and then I have a good few concerts and big events planned across Ireland, and just I'm really open to anything that comes along. You know, it's just nice to be asked to do even events and nights like tonight. It's lovely to give back to such amazing charities like Western Care. It's really, really lovely to use your talent for greater good.
Yeah. And just maybe what are you studying in college?
Aviation management and pilot studies.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not your regular type of job.
No, it's not a regular type of course. It is very specialised. It's tough going, but I'm really enjoying it so far.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, look, thanks very much for taking time out to come. And I know your mum and dad is here, which is lovely
as
well. From Swinford. Lovely to have them here. And for what it's for as well, Western Care. It's wonderful. So I think it's a nice, appropriate song this weekend. And I suppose I should ask you, anything planned for Valentine's weekend?
Oh, God. Nothing planned for Valentine's yet.
You're not going to tell the friends anyway?
No, definitely not.
Well, lovely to have you.
Thank
and
you
here
so much,
is
Henry.
a lovely clip from that video did with Frankie there in Dennis Score House. What a beautiful set. It's called Thankful. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, what a voice for such a young man there. The Cathal Gavin from Smithford. He's a great future ahead of him in the entertainment business. I hope he does take up singing full time eventually. I know his mum wants him to get his qualifications, which he will, I've no doubt. But hopefully we'll see him on stage around the world, and all these reports coming in from this wonderful singer we have here in County Mayo. So to Cathal, and thanks once again for taking part in our show. All right, folks, this is the last chance you're going to get to take part in the raffle. As you know, I've mentioned the prizes for you: €1,000 cash prize, and that's a wonderful, nice accommodation, bed and breakfast in the George V restaurant. 2 people in Ashford Castle in Kong, and then Nevin Maguire, you heard him there yourself there tonight. He's given that wonderful prize of an overnight stay for 2 people in the McNain House, and the award-winning McNain House and restaurant there in County Cavan, including a course food tasting experience. And if you heard in the interview there, he says he'll carry you up to bed if he has to. You'll have so much food and drink that night, so you'll have a wonderful experience there. 2 nights bed and breakfast, 1 evening meal for 2 people in Knockranny House Hotel. 2 nights B&B for 1 evening meal for 2 in the Carlton Hotel in Dublin. An Apple Watch and a set of Apple AirPods. B&B Deluxe Room, the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin. A 1-month subscription for the Ballymaloe Cookery School online. 1 night bed and breakfast for 2 people in Brafey House Resort Castlebar. Maura McKay interior design 2-hour consultation valued at €450. Reimagine Art Studio painted by Anne-Marie Clark. a €100 voucher for the Castlecourt Hotel Westport, and then a €100 voucher for the El Volcano restaurant also in Westport. As I said, the lines are going to be closing now in the next few minutes, so if you want to take part in that fabulous raffle, you're always as well and supporting Western Care organisations, which is very, very important indeed. So it's a win-win situation. So the telephone lines are open there for the last couple of minutes there. I'll just give them once more. Teresa's number there, I think it's Pauline, this man in that phone, 087 246 7857. We have Siobhan 087 322 7875. Lorraine on 087 205 2928. And Brenda on 086 023 7412. So we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with the final part of the programme, and of course including that fantastic raffle, who the lucky 13 winners are going to be tonight for this Valentine's weekend. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm joined by one of Ireland's top country music stars, Robert Mizell. Robert, we're delighted to have you with you this evening. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you so much. It's great to be part of this special program. I do appreciate you calling me on, and I hope that I find you all safe and well.
Absolutely, and you too, Robert. We've had a very difficult and tricky 2 years. How has life been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. Look, it's been difficult for everyone. I think the music industry has been particularly hit hard with the lockdowns. But I think now that in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that there's people seem to be getting a little bit more confident about getting out, and the phone is ringing again about gigs and things. So there's a great outlook coming ahead, and we've dealt with things the best way we can. I think, like all people have. But I'm so glad to see now that the music is back on the airwaves again for a lot of people.
Absolutely, and I think the country is just breathing a sigh of relief at this stage. But just looking back to COVID, was there anything particular that you got up to during those lockdown months to keep yourself busy, or how did you pass the time?
Well, I suppose, like everybody else, the first lockdown during the summer after March was beautiful. The weather was great, and we all thought we were on an extended holiday. And it wasn't until the winter sort of kicked in that we knew that we were going to be off longer than we thought. And I took up making garden furniture. My wife sort of said to me, would you ever get out of the house and do something, because you're driving me crazy. So I started up a new company called Dixieland Garden Furniture, and I've been doing that over the last couple of years, part-time. And it gave me a chance to, I suppose, to focus on something and to, and I have to say I enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I'm still getting emails today about different things like that people want bits and pieces. And so, I think we all needed that sort of, that distraction, from COVID cases and all that stuff that was going on. And I met some wonderful people out there. And a lot of the people who I dealt with in the Dixieland Garden Furniture business were basically people who had known me from the music industry. And they supported me in that role as well. So I'm delighted for that. So I've been busy.
It's a great little country we live in too. I think people love to support, our friends and people that we recognise. It really is fantastic in that way. But Robert, do you get back to America often, or how has that been for you? It must be tricky enough.
Yeah, well, I was back last January. My father passed away January last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I went back. Yeah, he succumbed to COVID, unfortunately. I got back for his funeral, and I was lucky in that respect to get back, because I know even in Ireland, there were so many stories about people who, had to bereave their loved ones through the window, and they couldn't get into the service or whatever. So I was glad to be able to have that time. I try to get back every year. I go back to America. I run trips to Nashville every year, and I'm back out again in the end of October. So with another trip. And I do enjoy getting back, I suppose. Even though I'm living in Ireland 30 years, I love this country. I love the people, and I love, my life here. But I suppose it's sometimes good to get back to the sights and sounds of America at different times. And as I say, the Nashville trip is a great opportunity for me to show people of Ireland where I come from and how my life was there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robert, you're one part of the three amigos. How are your other two buddies getting on?
Well, I think one of them at the moment is on a cruise ship somewhere, and the other fella is probably very cozy and comfortable with his new fiancée. He's getting married in a few months' time. So and that's another thing. We've only got a chance to meet up again in the last couple of months. We're back on the road now with our show, and the first couple of shows that we did were fantastic, and just to be able to feel that buzz of entertaining again, and the movement of a crowd and the sound of a live band. And but I think the boys are good. I missed them for all that time, But you can be sure that when we get back on the road for another couple of weeks out, there'll be a big row and we'll fall out for a day or two. But we'll be back in love again in no time at all.
Absolutely. I think people are going to really look forward to that as well. Have you any shows with the Three Amigos or with your own band coming up, that people can look forward to and put into their diaries?
Yeah, absolutely. We just started the first 2 shows of this season. Now, obviously, a lot of the shows were deferred. Normally, the Three Amigos tour in January, but we're touring in February and March. So if anyone wants to go to my website, robertmazel.com, or the Three Amigos, we have an official webpage as well and a Facebook page. All of our dates are listed up there. We're gigging right across the country over the next couple of months. So we'd love for people to come and check out the show. We have a new show this year. We have a new single out as well. And we're just excited to be out working again. And people have really shown us such kindness in the last 12 months that, they're still booking tickets. They're still getting involved. And so, as I say, please check out our webpages and come and see us. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely, and I think people are just going to be so excited to get back on the road with you guys as well. It's an exciting year, I think, that we have ahead of us in the rest of 2022. That's for sure.
It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy, but that's what we always expected. It, sitting at home, watching Netflix, of a Saturday night now is probably pretty much gone now for the next couple of years for me anyway. But I'm excited to get back, and I think it's what I've always loved doing. I've been entertaining people for 25 years. So I can't wait to step back on the stage and get going at it.
Well, the best of luck with it, Robert, and we're so thankful for you for joining us here tonight for our very special show and our very special fundraiser as well for Western Care Association, because of course we have a big raffle going on throughout the night here as well, and we're raising tens of thousands for Western Care. So it's a special night, and you're a special person to have with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. In Western Care, I know it means a lot to so many different people, and the funds that you raise are vital, to services. And so we do appreciate that. And we like to wish everybody in Western Care the very best, and all the people that they're able to reach out to as well. We do appreciate that.
Thank you, Robert. Well, we're going to play a lovely song of yours. I'm not going to introduce it because I'm going to let people enjoy it and see do they recognise it for themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much.
Still of the old Pierce reaping mill, I see my father tying sheaves of corn. In September in the garden field, they kept me home from school. They needed me to work down on the farm. And my mother, she would bake apple pie and currant cake, and lovely homemade bread from wheat and mill. And nothing tasted better than the 12 of us together, drinking tea out of a bottle in the field. I was a young man when I sowed the fields of barley, with the Clydesdales when I sprayed the spuds in May. And a farmer I have lived, and a farmer I will die, and I wouldn't have it any other way. One by one we all left home, making new lives on our own, in Australia, England and America. And my father shed a tear with every passing year. Mama prayed that we'd all come home someday, settle down to married life with my children and my wife. And farming ways were changing rapidly. Now there's silage in the pen, a machine to milk the cows, and a John Deere where the Clydesdales used to be. I was a young man when I sowed the fields of barley, with the Clydesdales when I sprayed the spuds in May. And a farmer I have lived, and a farmer I will die, and I wouldn't have it any other.
The great Robert Mazel there, one of his big hits we hope you enjoy. Now, he stood in for Jimmy Buckley. We were to have Jimmy on the show, but Robert kindly stood in because Jimmy was flying across the United States, heading to the Caribbean for a couple of performances. So we couldn't just track him down to get a Zoom call from him and that, but Robert kindly stand in, and we thank him for that. So now, just before the draw, folks, our final guest is Teresa Ward, who is the fundraising manager for Western Care, and I know you'd like to say a few words, Teresa. I know it's been a difficult time as well for a lot of charities over the past 2 years with the pandemic.
Thanks very much, Henry. It has been a very difficult time for all charities indeed, and Western Care is no different to that. But I have to say that we're very grateful to everybody that did support us in the last 2 years in particular. We had to pivot onto the digital world, I suppose, and that was the challenge, and that's the way life has gone now. And I suppose what has been very, very important and significant to Western Care over the years has been the door-to-door collection.
Yes,
and
over
that has,
50 years.
Yeah, actually since its inception, Henry, and it has been the cornerstone for Western Care for all those years, and it has changed significantly and dramatically, has declined. So on foot of all that, I suppose, and going forward in Western Care, we absolutely need the funds more than ever, and we're actually getting a little bit excited now because we're working on a new project in order to develop this sustainable fundraising world, and so that we're guaranteed constant money coming in. So we will be reaching out to our donors again in the near future, and I've no doubt that they will be very supportive, as they've always been to us. We are the Mayo charity, I suppose, Henry, and we're deeply rooted in all the communities in Mayo. So people are very good to us, and we're very visible, and they see exactly firsthand what happens. So I suppose tonight it just gives me the opportunity to say a huge thank you to this amazing committee that I'm so privileged to work with. That's the Candlelight Ball Committee, and of course, Henry, you're here from the very beginning, which is 22 years ago, which is quite...
You're the feel old now.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, Henry, I don't know where we'd be today without you when we had to just turn this...
There's a great team there, yeah.
There absolutely is, and we're very blessed because they're all so individually talented and gifted, and everybody brings their own skills to it. And what amazes me is, like, it was so easy last year for them to say, do you know what, we're not going to do anything this year. We're in the COVID, we're in a pandemic, but no, they didn't. And to see what we achieved last year, which is phenomenal. And I know Cora showed the pictures here of the projects that supported. That's what it's all about, Henry. At the end of the day, we're trying to change people's lives, and the difference that people's money makes to changing those lives, and the significant difference is phenomenal. And I know for the committee, that's what makes it work, because that's why they work so hard, because they know what it means to the individuals, because we have funding and HSE are our primary funders, but there's so many things that unmet needs that we just can't fund. So they're the things that make it important. So to the fundraising, to the Candlelight Board Committee, under the leadership of Cora, I want to thank them most sincerely, and including you, of course, Henry, for all you've done. It's been a privilege for me to work with you, and I can't thank you enough for what you've done and what you've achieved.
We'll be looking forward to next year's Real Live Candlelight Ball
with the help
2023.
Yeah, we'll be all scrubbed up for us.
Exactly. Yeah,
so just to all our artists who have been so amazing tonight, I want to say sincere thanks.
Fantastic,
and to all our donors out there, can't thank you enough for your support. There may be a lot of you here that may not have had the opportunity already to take part in the raffle, and maybe for some people they weren't able to view this tonight, but might be able to, in the comfort of their own home tomorrow and all next week, see this both on Facebook and on YouTube. And they might like to donate to Western Care. We will have an I Donate button up
for the next week or two.
Yes, another link up. So for people that want to do that, and for anybody that wants to actually just contact me directly, or send in a donation to Western Care, we will accept any donation, no matter how big or how small, or from anybody, anonymously or otherwise. We'll be so grateful, and I can assure you and all our viewers that the money that we receive will be spent very, very wisely.
As we've seen already.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much, Teresa, for joining us.
Thank you.
And continue good luck with the fundraising for Western Care.
Thank you very much.
I know it's not easy, but hopefully things will change now that we're all open and that. And now I think the lines are closed, and our thanks to the volunteer ladies here. Caroline, Siobhan, I see Etna there, and who else is down there? Pauline and Lorraine, and who else? Una. Yeah. Busy evening, Annette. I mentioned them all there. So, Corey, you're going to spin the discs. You're going to spin the wheel. All the tickets are in, aren't they, folks? Yeah, all tickets are in. So, we have boxing banjo here, the two lads here, brothers here, Mihal and Dara. and they're going to pick the first 6 tickets.
Okay,
so the first prize is this €1,000 cash.
1,000 euros cash.
Cash.
Yes.
Okay. So you can pick the first one. Which is Micheál, which is Dara?
Dara.
Micheál. So we'll let you do the first one, Dara.
You want to put your hand
Dig
there
deep down in there.
Deep. There's a lot of tickets in it.
So here we go. So for €1,000, and it goes to Ballyhaunis in County Mayo to Pádraig Prendergast. You know the name? Oh, very good. So somebody works for Western Care. €1,000. Nice start for the Valentine's weekend. Now this is this is a lovely prize for Ashford Castle overnight. Dinner and everything, George V room, bed and breakfast. And we are going to Castle Bar, I think, for this next one. And it's Marie Finnerty, Connacht Creative Resources Centre, John Moore Road, Castle Bar. That is Castle Bar, isn't it? So congratulations to Marie there on that. Now,
Okay, so Dara,
our third prize,
this is
Nevin Maguire's award-winning restaurant, McNain House, for overnight for 2 people, including an 8-course food tasting experience. And as he said himself, he says, I'll carry them up to bed if I have to by the time they finish. And we are going to, my God, we're going to the United Kingdom for this one. Now, that's a nice trip over to County Cavan for Joan Fennelly from Hanley-on-Thames in the United Kingdom. So congratulations to you, Joan. Teresa will be in touch with you on that prize, Okay, so we're on to our 4th prize now, and this is for 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for 2 people in Knockgranny House Hotel in Westport, a 4-star establishment. So here we go, give it a deep, well done, Micheál. And the winner this time is Belclare Westport, David Boylan.
Very good, well done,
David. Know David? No? All right. Etna, you don't know David Boylan, Westport? No? Okay. So we're on to number 4, right? So 2 nights B&B and 1 evening meal for 2 in the Carlton Hotel in Blanchardstown in Dublin City. So, Dara, you're going again. That's what I thought, yeah. Helena's brother. Yeah, Helena's a great member of the Valentine Ball Committee. Another Boylan. God bless us. The Boylans are going where? They're going to Dublin and they're going to Knockgranny House and Carlton House. This one's for the Carlton House, isn't it?
Yeah.
In Dublin. So Conor Boylan, congratulations.
Well done, Conor.
So final number 6 one now. Don't forget, we've a few more to go. We're going to get Cathal Gavin up for the next few because the boys are going to set up to take us out tonight with some great trad tunes there. Great musicians, these guys.
Okay, Micheál.
And this is for an Apple Watch with a set of Apple EarPods. And the winner this time is Rita Lavelle, and it's Kilboyne Castle Bar. So congratulations to Rita Lavelle. You know, Teresa, you know Rita Lavelle. Lovely. So thanks, lads. And the boys are going to set up now to take us out tonight with a good slash of trad tunes there, I tell you. Straight from the Trad Fest in Dublin and the Late Late Show. Great musicians from Castle Bar here. So now we're joined by Cathal here. So you better be, you're going to be very popular with a couple of people here tonight now as well. So here we go. This one is for a one month subscription to Ballymaloo Cookery School, and this is online. So we have this one first, is it?
I think it's the Shelburne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Sorry, yes. Yeah, the Apple was the last one. Carl, this is for a lovely B&B deluxe room in the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin. Nice place to do your shopping there, use it for your shopping. And we're going to the Pontoon Road in Castlebar to Kathleen Mulroy. Now, where did I hear that name before? God, that sounds familiar.
She'd be delighted with that.
She'd be delighted. So this is for the 1 month subscription now to Ballymaloo Cookery School online. Here we go again, Cathal. Dig deep, yeah. Don't be looking at them now. Don't be trying to pick out one from Spinford there. I'm watching you. Yeah. So we are going to Westport again, and to Rosemarie Murphy in Sheon, Westport.
The Ballymaloo Cookery
That was the, yeah, so she's getting a nice Ballymaloe. I hope she likes a bit of cooking. So one night bed and breakfast, 2 people in Breathy House Resort in Castlebar.
Okay.
So here we go, Cathal. Another lovely prize.
Another one.
Aha. Oh, well now, they don't have too far to go, do they? You're going to love this one, folks. This is for, yeah, the winner's from Breathy. For one night, B&B, but you never know, it'll come in handy. I'll tell you want to go for a night out and stay overnight and everything. Lorraine and John Hall of Breathy, Castlebar. And Lorraine is with us here tonight because Lorraine was one of the volunteers manning the phones for people to make their donation. Isn't that great? Okay, so this is for Maura McKay Interior Design 2-hour consultation. This is valued at €450, folks. A great prize. So we are going to Ballina. So we've had a few guests from Ballina tonight. And this is for Louise Buckley. So congratulations, Louise. You know Louise, yeah? Lovely. No, yeah. So we are into our last 2 now. So 3, is it? 1? Oh, there's 3, I beg your pardon, yeah. So, Carl, here we go.
This is for the art studio.
This is for the Reimagine Art Studio painting by Anne-Marie Clark. And the winner is...
Again. Oh, I think we can pull another one. So we can, yeah. She's already won.
She must have gone mad buying tickets. She must have thought she was going to win the lotto as well. Now, so we are in Callow in Foxford, not too far from you. Yeah. And the winner is Mary Farrell. So congratulations, Mary, if you tune in tonight. So you have a lovely prize there. I hope you enjoy it. So our second last one then is a €100 voucher for the Castle Court Hotel excuse me, in Westport. Dig deep now and... Here we go, and we're in Castlebar again to Tully Commons, and the winner is Kevin Cook. So congratulations, Kevin. And our final prize for the 2022 Valentine Ball Gala Draw. We'll see who the winner is going to be. And it was Kathleen Mulroy. I'm checking all those tickets. If I can find any more Kathleen Mulroy. I'm only joking. Oh my God, this is as bad. Would you believe it? Another Boylan in Westport. And the only one who didn't win was Helena herself. So well done anyway. I'm sure they'll look after her. Daniel Boy, she won a €100 voucher for the El Volcano Italian restaurant in Westport. So congratulations, Helena. I know you're tuned in there, but there's plenty of them to take you out now for the next while they will all. So thank you all for taking part in the draw, folks. You've been very generous, and it's very important for Western Care, raising valuable funds, as Cora and Teresa mentioned. Now, all that's left for me to say is to thank our volunteers that were here tonight in the studio here, with manning the phones, to all our guests who were absolutely superb, to Frankie and Ray on sound, do a tremendous job, to our chairperson here, of course, Cora, and all the artists, all the sisters. Thank you, good night, and have a great Valentine's weekend. And always say, keep loving, keep smiling, and we'll see you all next year in Breathy House Hotel, the 11th of February. We're going to be live, and all the girls are going to be glamorized, and the guys are going to be in the dicky boats. We're going to have a great night, we hope. So we don't do anything. So we're going to take you out tonight, folks, with some great music here from Boxing Banjo here, great group here, duo. And so me, Hall, and Dara are going to take us out. Is it going to be reels, jigs, hornpipes, or? See what happens. See what happens. That's the way I like it. So good night, everybody, and for you at home for watching, thank you indeed. So until next time, slán go fóill.